And then what I loved about the sauce is like, fast forward 2 years to now, like I've met you, the amount of people that I've met that are just like, we're going to do it. We're going to find an answer. That's why I love meeting other small business owners. It's like, you dreamt of this and you just did it. With my LLC, I do everything from, there's some pink salt merchandise,
Nice.
It's just silly.
Nice.
It's like, I never thought I would have a merchandise line that people would buy.
Hell yeah.
So
I think a lot of people get hung up on the how. And they freeze in that because they don't know how, or they just keep Googling all these things without fully identifying the what. Like, what do they want to do?
For me, it's the why.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Yeah. So is it why, what, and then how?
Ooh. Okay.
Like,
This is
why do you want to do this? What are you going to do to fulfill that why? And how are we going to get there?
Yeah. For me, it's why. I think that's what fuels me.
Yeah.
Over and over. Like, ultimately, I struggled. I could take it back to, when I was sad about not getting into med school. It was like, I always wanted to feel seen. And this whole model minority that like, oh, if you don't fit the model, you are not seen. And like, why aren't we celebrating Asians in creative fields? And like, I would have loved to have met, what would I be like had I met an Asian in a creative field, a female leader when I was 16? Would my story be different? And like, that's what drives me. Like, I would love for the next generation to feel like they don't have to be a doctor. They don't have to break themselves down and live an unhappy life because that's all there was before them. Yeah. And so for me to release the sauce, I know it sounds like barely connected, but for me to release the sauce as a form of my creativity, but then also uplifting like my own heritage to make someone that looks like me, feels like me, feel celebrated and honored and seen. Like, that is my why. Like, that is why I'll continue to do it. So I know at the end of the day, it's just some chili sauce in a jar. Like sometimes I'm like, don't get too into it. Like, it's chili sauce in a jar.
I mean, but on the flip side, get into it.
It's a delicious chili sauce in a jar.
Literally and figuratively, in the sense of, I think people that, like Chicagoans especially, that go hard for other small business owners, they are curious about the backstory. They're curious about your ethos, and they understand that when they do pay a premium for a jar of chili jam, that they're supporting you in your dream.
Yes.
And they're happily doing it.